Instructions? Who reads instructions anymore? Well, it turns out that I probably should have, because I'm a few weeks deep into my first homebrew project in quite a long time, and because I've forgotten a few things, it probably would have been helpful to actually read this more than just giving it a cursory glance. It's not a disaster, it's brewing away, but there's a couple of things that, I probably should have read the instructions. Hello again, it's Al here from One Man Many Plans, and of course the blog onemanmanyplans.com.au. And if you aren't aware of one of my latest plans, it is brewing 23 litres of homebrew beer. Partly because I love brewing beer and I haven't done it for years. It's nice to have a setup again. And partly because the price of beer at the moment, unless you get it on special, is pretty expensive. And between rent and bills and life and mechanics and doctor's visits and all of that kind of fun stuff, it doesn't really leave too much in the budget left for entertainment, like the golden stuff, the amber stuff. So I thought, it's time to actually get into this again after quite some time, after a bit of a hiatus. And thanks to my lovely wife and Father's Day recently, I did score this incredible kit. This is the Cooper's $99 kit, or down to $99, the DIY beer kit. I have actually done a bit of an unboxing video of this on this channel, so if you haven't checked it out, it is there, it is ready to go. $99 gets you everything to brew a beer. It is a base lager. Don't expect a miracle beer or the greatest tasting beer ever. I certainly am not. But the thing is, everything came in the box to brew up a beer, good to go, and that's what I've been doing. Set it up a couple of weeks ago. It has been fermenting nicely, fantastic. But of course, along the journey, I've discovered a couple of things in the instructions that I probably should have read from the get-go. And if there's one tip that I can pass on in this video, it is to actually read this from start to finish, and not just this bit about winning $2,000 cash, because I read this bit and went, yeah, excellent, and entered straight away. But the rest of it, like the information and all the instructions, probably should have, like I said, given it more than a cursory glance. But let's have a look where things have gone wrong. Like I said, it's not going to be a complete disaster, but hopefully this tastes okay at the end of it. So one thing I'm not going to be doing in this video is boring you with day-to-day updates on how the beer is progressing, how it looks, how it's become darker, all of those kinds of things. Everything you need to know, plenty of pictures, plenty of updates. The journey as it stands is over at the blog onemanmanyplans.com.au. Today, I'm going to point out a couple of things that I have actually done wrong and would have been rectified if I did read the instructions clearly, because that's what this video is all about. The first one is temperature. According to the official instructions, it should be at the lower end of 21 to 27 degrees. And if we zoom in on that little temperature strip on the side of the fermenter here, it's actually 11 degrees. It was around 20 when I first got things set up here in the shed. Exciting shed. We've been going through a bit of a cold snap recently, and it's definitely towards the bottom end. Now, whether this has an effect on this base lager remains to be seen. I have made some temperature-controlled beers around the 3-4 degree mark previously, and they worked out just fine, but I don't know how that actually goes with a lager brew. We'll discover that at the end of it. The second mistake I actually made by not reading the instructions relates to the gravity. There's my hydrometer. It measures the alcohol by volume content of your beer. And even though I've done this previously, worked with one extract kit, I completely forgot that you actually take the original gravity reading at the very start of things. For whatever reason, I glanced at the instructions, read a part about, 6 days later taking the gravity, and then wondered why a couple of days after that, my gravity readings were actually saying that I had a negative alcohol by volume result. And I thought, great, it's a beer that actually sobers you up. But no, that's not the case. In the instructions, again, read the instructions. It does say, add pitch yeast by sprinkling it over the top of the brew. Original gravity OG will be 1038 plus or minus 2. There is no need to measure this. Would have saved me heaps of time and a learning experience if I actually read that the first time. However, one thing that I reckon the instructions did get wrong was in terms of the hydrometer and the tasting flask, because they actually suggested that you fill it up to about 3 centimeters from the top. The only problem with that is, as soon as you put the hydrometer in there, if it's 3 centimeters from the top, it actually goes flying over the edge and you start to spill beer everywhere, which is why I've marked it with this rubber band. just to take gravity readings on it and see how it's progressing. Although at this stage, and we're talking a couple of weeks into things, gee, it's so much clearer than what it was. So it's certainly coming along nicely. Like I said, hopefully the temperature is not going to make too much of a difference. If you reckon it is, please let me know in a comment. At least I figured out this side of things. And now I know for my next one, all about when to actually take the original gravity. Although, if you read the instructions, which, there they are, it's in here. So, top tip, Cooper's beer kit. Make your own beer at home, DIY kit, 23 litres of beer. Read the instructions. I will for next time.